Today I'm going to teach you how to make traditional Sichuan cuisine Mapo tofu. Mapo tofu is a very important dish in Sichuan cuisine, and I grew up in Chengdu, Sichuan in China, and the first time I learned this dish was in my middle school cooking class. So we had a class and they taught us how to make Mapo tofu and Kung Pao chicken, these two main Sichuan cuisine dishes. So today I really want to share how to make Mapo tofu in a very traditional Sichuan cooking way. Before we get started, I want to show you some main ingredients, and I want to explain a little bit about these ingredients we're going to use. First of all is Sichuan peppercorns. Sichuan peppercorns are used in a lot of Chinese cuisines, and they just look like peppercorns and they create a very numbing taste to the dishes, and this is very important in Sichuan cuisine. Another one is called fermented broad bean chili paste. Fermented broad bean chili paste is called the soul of Sichuan cuisine. This ingredient is widely used in a lot of Sichuan dishes. So we're going to use some of this today, and this is the package that I have from a grocery store. You can find this in most Chinese grocery store. Make sure you look for a chili paste that is from Sichuan and also from PiXian. This is called PiXian Douban. PiXian is a city next to Chengdu, and the best broad bean paste is made in PiXian. Now let's take a look at some of the other ingredients we're going to use today. We're going to use some green onion. You can use 1 stalk of onion and some ginger, 4 cloves of garlic, some beef. I use 3 ounces here. Some ground Sichuan peppercorn. You can ground up the peppercorn you already have, and this is optional too. Some salt, some peppercorn, some sugar. We're also going to use some pea starch. You can use potato starch or corn starch if you have those, and some soy sauce. I will write out the full recipe in the description if you want to learn the exact amount I'm using. Now let's get started. I'm going to chop the green onion first. The garlic needs to be chopped finely. Now let's chop the ginger. When you chop the ginger, you can chop it into slices first and then chop it into smaller chunks. Now let's chop the tofu. And then you can chop this way. And then you chop from the middle. Okay, now our tofu is the perfect cubes. So now let's start cooking. Keeping it medium heat, let's add about 2 tablespoons of oil. Prepare about 1 teaspoon of Sichuan peppercorn. Now let's put on the beef. When the beef are all kind of cooked, let's add the garlic and the ginger. When cooked traditionally, the beef is supposed to be a little bit crunchy, so it's okay to overcook it a little bit here. Now let's add the broad green chili paste. Stir it well. Before it gets burned, we will need to add water. Now let's add the tofu. Now gently make sure the tofu is soaked in the juice. Now we're just gonna wait for the soup to boil. And at this time, you can add a little bit of soy sauce. So now we're gonna add about 1 teaspoon of soy sauce. We're also gonna add 1 teaspoon of sugar. Now we're just gonna let this boil for like about 5 minutes. Make sure the tofu is fully cooked in the soup. And occasionally you can stir in the soup a little bit. The last step is adding the starch to the soup. So how we do it is we have 1 teaspoon of pea starch here, and we're just gonna add a little bit of water in it. And then we're going to use a spoon or chopsticks to stir it. Now for this step, you don't want the heat to be too high because this will thicken the soup. Okay, now let's pour this down. Let's gently stir it. Now we have to bring it to full boil again. Look at that shiny color of browning. That's the color you want to achieve for this dish. Now it's boiling again. Let's make sure we stir it. Now before we serve, I always try how salty this dish is first. That's perfect. If you think it's not salty enough, you can add 1 more teaspoon of soy sauce. But today we're just gonna serve this. Okay, now it's boiling all over and we can turn off the heat. Now we're gonna add our green onions on the top. and also a little bit of ground Sichuan peppercorn. The tofu is soaked in the juice and it has a savory taste. Can't wait to try. Okay, after all the cooking, let's try the mapo tofu. I can't wait. The best thing about this dish is the smell. It smells so good. This is so good. It tastes exactly like the mapo tofu I had from my hometown, Chengdu. The beef in the juice tastes very, very good. If you want to learn more Sichuan dishes, subscribe to my channel and I will see you next time.